Have you ever had that feeling? You know the one. You're talking, you're sharing something, but it's like your words just evaporate into thin air. It's so frustrating, right? Well, what if I told you that sometimes the reason we feel so invisible has less to do with other people and more to do with these tiny subconscious habits we don't even know we have? Today, we're going to dig into 5 of them. I mean, this can happen anywhere, at work, during a big meeting, or even just hanging out with your best friends. And if you've ever felt that little sting of being overlooked, you're in the right place. We're about to figure out why it's happening. Okay, before we dive in, I want to make something really clear. This is not about blaming yourself or picking apart your personality. Not at all. This is all about awareness. Think of it like getting a new set of tools to help you build even stronger connections. And it all starts with understanding ourselves a little better. Yeah, feeling invisible, it does more than just hurt in the moment. It can really get in your head and start to mess with how you see yourself and even how you see the people around you. But getting a handle on the why behind it all, that's the very first step to changing the story. So, let's get right to it. All right, first up, we're going to look at 3 habits that are all about how we actually show up in a conversation. I call these the conversation killers. They're these subtle little things we do that, without us even realizing it, can make people pull back. So, habit number 1, are you a conversation hawk? And be honest with yourself here. Are you the person who's always talking? Does every story somehow, some way find its way back to being about you? If you're nodding along, this could be a big reason people are starting to tune you out. And this quote right here, it really says it all. A good conversation is like a dance, you know? It's not a monologue. If you want people to really hear what you have to say, you've got to be just as willing to listen to what they have to say. It's so simple, but man, we forget it all the time. Now, here's where it gets kind of tricky. Most of the time, our intentions are actually pretty good. We're excited, right? We have so much we want to share. But the impression we accidentally give off is that we just don't care about what they think. It's a total mismatch between what we mean and what people see. All right, next step is a habit I think a lot of us fall into. We can call it the helpful critic. You see a friend or a family member about to make a mistake, and your first instinct is to jump in and point it out. I mean, you're just trying to help, right? And look, a little bit of constructive feedback can be amazing for growth. But when it's just a constant stream of criticism, it's exhausting for the other person. It feels like they're always doing something wrong. And eventually, people just want to get away from that feeling. The trick here is all about balance. For every piece of advice you give, try to find a genuine compliment or some words of encouragement to go with it. Habit number 3. Oh boy. Let's call this one being the personal rain cloud. Do you find yourself complaining a lot? Is your first reaction to things usually negative? If everything seems to be a problem, you might be accidentally making your conversations a place people want to avoid. And there's actually a really fascinating reason for this, and it's backed by science. It's called emotional contagion. Basically, emotions, especially negative ones, are contagious, like a cold. When you're constantly putting out negativity, you're literally affecting the moods of the people around you. And their natural defense? It's to stay away from the source. Okay, so we've talked about what we say and how we say it. Now let's shift gears and look inward. We're going to explore 2 habits that are less about your words and more about your mindset. These are the internal things that can shape how people see you before you even say a single word. So this next one is all about what we call presence. Ever walk into a room and just feel invisible? Now, presence isn't about being the loudest or the most outgoing person there. It's more of a quiet confidence that just naturally draws people in. And when we don't have that, it's really easy to get lost in the shuffle. But here is the great news. Presence is not something you're born with. It is absolutely something you can build. It all starts from the inside, by working on your self-confidence. And then you can start working on the outside stuff, like your body language, standing a little taller, making eye contact. Even just how you start a conversation. These little tweaks can make a massive difference. And our final habit. Oh, this one is for all my fellow overthinkers out there. You know who you are, you're in a group, the conversation is flowing, and your brain is just spinning trying to come up with the perfect thing to say. But by the time you figured it out, the moment's gone. The conversation has already moved on. And here's the crazy part. In your head, you feel like you're super involved. You're thinking, you're analyzing, you're part of it. But from the outside, all people see is your silence. And that silence can easily look like you're bored or just not interested in being there at all. So while your mind is this whirlwind of thoughts and ideas, what everyone else sees is just a blank expression. They might think, oh, they don't really want to be here, and then they stop trying to include you. It's this tough cycle that all starts with just thinking a little too much. So we've walked through these 5 habits that might be getting in your way, but I want to be really clear about the biggest takeaway here. This is not about changing who you are just to get other people to like you. It's actually about something way more powerful than that. This, right here, is the absolute truth of it all. You are the captain of your own ship. You can control your actions, your words, your mindset, but you can't control how other people react to them. You could be the most interesting, positive person in the world, and someone might still ignore you. And you know what? That is okay. Just think about it this way. Working on yourself is a gift that you give to yourself. It's about becoming a better communicator and a more confident person because it makes your life better, not because you're trying to win some kind of approval from other people. You should never have to audition for a part in someone else's life. So where do you put all this positive energy? Simple. You put it into the relationships that are already working. Water the plants that are already growing. Spend your time and your energy on the people who lean in when you talk, who ask you questions, and who show you that they genuinely care. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What is one small, tiny thing you can do starting today to build a stronger connection with someone you care about? Maybe it's just putting your phone down when they're talking, or asking one more question. The journey to really being heard starts with one small step. Thanks for tuning in.